Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for another Friendly Fire Fridays. It's number 13 um, in the Halloween month. So it's going to be a scary edition. Well, it's not. But it's been number 13. It's going rather quickly for this episode. And I'm really happy that I'm kind of getting back into to everything surrounding Alliance Open. Stefan is still on his corona duty when it comes to nursing, so this will be his last week, and next week we'll be together again. So we will be reunited. Sarge, still good to see you here, man. Good to have you here. I've seen Agnes also here already, so very happy to see a lot of players. There's a few things we're going to talk about today. First of all, we're going to talk about an update on Age of Sigmar because there's happening a lot lately, and we really feel that we need to give something more, even more to the community. So we're working on it. So that's going to be a rather quick one. Then we have some news when it comes to a new merchandise. So I'm very happy about that as well. Then I'm going to do a little talk about the implications that COVID did for our events, and we did a survey after our last four events, and we did the survey about how these COVID regulations, like what they did for you people while playing. So I think that's a very good topic to talk about. I think we have about 45 minutes, and then that's about it. If you have any questions at all, if you want to know something about our events, if you want to know something about me or about maybe Danny, CJ, Peter, of course, just ask away, man. I'm here uh, to talk about the hobby, but I'm also here to talk with you guys. We have a very good community at the moment, and I think I'm very happy to talk about with you guys. And with the amount of playing I get, I kind of miss you guys. The last event I was just running around all day because I was not alone, but I was like we didn't have a lot of manpower, so I was just running around, not speaking a lot to a lot of people. Justin, I only spoke him a little bit in Bremen. I've seen him maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And normally we have like half an hour or three quarters of an hour to talk about the hobby and everything. So um, if you have anything you want to ask us, if you have anything that you want to say to us, to me, or to any, anyone at the AO team, just let us know, man. First of all, I want to thank our patrons who have helped us through these amazing and weird months. We're very happy um, to see that the community helps us out as we help them out. So we currently have around 30 patrons supporting us in a very good way. And we're going to do something back for you as well, of course. Some of you may have known that we have like a tier system where you can get some discounts and stuff, but we'll start our tabletop simulator tournaments soon again. We're going to start again with our painting competition and get them back up. And we're going to make sure that we provide you with enough stuff to talk about. So we currently have well, Discord is kind of getting back on track, and I'm just pushing CJ and Peter and everything to talk to chat in it, and you guys, well, just ask away, man, in the Discord as well. Um, so first and foremost, let's talk about the Age of Sigmar rules pack that we have been working on. I want to thank a lot of people for helping me. First of all, Scar from Peter from Scar Miniatures Madness. He told me a lot of things about the last rules pack that were not on par with the community. I've talked to Agnes as well, and I've talked to Fabian. We're like, what can we do better? How can we make the community uh, have have a better feeling about the event? So I'm just gonna give you the link to what we had so far. Just mind you that this is uh, um, uh, this is a draft. So we just started on this, but there's a few things that I want to talk about. We kind of updated a lot of our stuff. I think I can see that it's not really copying in the right way. Um, so I'm just gonna talk you through it. and if you can just copy paste it in your Chrome or whatever, you can still look. We can look together. So first and foremost, we're gonna check out what has changed. Um, so the COVID regulations, there's not no real change yet because we said the mandatory face mask were already there, and now that the government's already like implying that we should wear them, well, that makes it even easier for us. So those face masks will stay mandatory. Everything, the rest will stay the same. We will make sure that um, there's enough room for you. We're gonna have like 10 square meters for each table, the same that we did last event, and we'll probably have the same amount of tables as well. So it's gonna be very good, a good vibe when it comes to COVID. Just mind you that if you don't like our COVID regulations, then this is not your tournament, and it's not a problem. We'll stay good friends. I don't mind. I really understand when you say, well, during this COVID time, maybe it's not my time to play a tournament. Well, that's a good call. If you know that from yourself that it's not your best, like in your best interest to do that, that's no problem at all. So make sure to uh, see if you agree with our regulations, and if you don't, no problem at all, man. Just come to the next tournament after all this craziness has gone away. Then some general information. It's going to be the 27th and 28th of February in 2021. We're going to play 5 games. We're just checking if those will be 2 hours to 45 minutes or they're going to be 3 hours. It depends on what Van der Valk actually is, like what we can do with lunch and stuff, because we will still be giving lunch as usual, but there can be maybe if the rules stay as they are now, we cannot provide lunches for 60 people in the lunch room. So there will probably be a hot and cold lunch brought to you at the table you're at during after game one or game four on the Sunday. We will play 2,000 points, and it's going to be Swiss draw as usual, and we're going to have 60 spots available. This means, and then maybe it will go to 54. It depends on what Van der Vel can give us, but it's going to be over 50 spots available. We will be starting to sell these tickets next week. We're going to start selling these tickets for the early birds. So that's going to be the one that's part of our Patreon program. And the week after that, we're going to get the tickets to the rest of the public. So that's going to be very good. For those people who are for the people who will have like they can get the early birds, we'll let you know through email. It's not going to be any problem. Tickets will still be purchasable at www.alliancearmy.net, and we will like the ticket will give you a goodie, a good lunch, free coffee and tea throughout the day, face mask for all the games, prize support, and admission, of course, to the Alliance Open Dutch Grand Tournament. Um, just mind you, there will be no refund if the Dutch like if the Dutch government will prohibit the event, you will get your money back. But if you come from outside of the Holland and you will not and you cannot attend to the tournament because of your government, that's no problem. We will provide you with a voucher, but we simply cannot give you the money back because it's just way too much hassle. It will still be at Hotel Schiphol. They are very happy to have us. They are very happy also to make sure that they have ample rooms for us to rent. So make sure that if you want to come to the event and you want to have like the most relaxed event that you can have, please take a room. They will have good prices for us, and will send you a room form like 2 months in advance. I'm talking with Van der Val currently to see what prices we can give you. But just remind you, don't already book your rooms when we haven't sent you the room forms. Sometimes the room forms have like they're more expensive for two-person rooms, but they're cheaper for four-person rooms. The room forms will have breakfast included, so that's a big difference with the price on the website. Just to give you a few dates, 30th of January, so that's a month before the event, the rules pack will be finalized. On the 14th of January, February, on Valentine's Day, the cutoff date will be for all the new releases and the Army Roaster deadline, and the final cutoff for all erratas. FAQs will still be, like all FAQs will be used, but erratas will like stay until the 14th. Um, so um, after so the Monday the 15th is going to be the Army Roaster publication. So we will show you what Army's lists will are sent in, and then on the 27th of February, let's roll some dice. We will play 3 rounds on the Saturday and 2 on the Sunday, and we'll start at 9:30, like 9:30 on the on Saturday. We'll end at 19:45, so a quarter to 8. And then on the Sunday, we will start at 10 and they will end at a quarter to 6 or maybe around 6-ish to make sure that people have a lot of time to travel. So that's not going to be any problem. We will be using PunPun again, and then we're going to improve PunPun, meaning that you can put your club name in PunPun as well. You can put everything that you need in PunPun, and you can check lists on PunPun as well. There's going to be a few changes, and that's what I'm going to talk about right now. Um, so just so you know, um, it's going to be very easy. The things that we always do, we're going to make sure that it's a very good rules pack. There's a few things that will be changed according to our last grand tournament, which was the Return to the Realms. Um, Allegiance abilities, artifacts, command rates, spells, and prayers, everything needs to be on your list, and those cannot be changed during the event. Um, your army can still come from one of the realms. Faction terrain and endless spells need to be added to the army list. So make sure that if you cannot choose a faction terrain at the on War Scroll Builder, please make sure to put it on your army list. Times are in effect for those for the army with the fewest points. Legends are still not allowed. Forge World is allowed. Um, allies and mercenaries are allowed, and you can only buy 1 command point. So that's a few easy ones for you guys. Then next to that, we will make sure that we had a few problems with terrain. And to give you an example, Peter was playing against Paul on a table which had a little church in the middle of the table, and they both played Caradhran Overlords. And the funny thing is that one time during turn 2 or 3, there were actually 2 frigates on top of the church, and there was like a flying character like hanging on the side of the ruin. So that's what we want to avoid right now, because you notice that it's not very clear, because it says, okay, if this is the top of the building, I'm going to stand over here, but I cannot place my model physically, so I'm just going to keep it aside. Well, that just does not work. So what we said is that everything that has no base plate or is not a hill and it's more than 2 inches high will be impassable terrain, which means you cannot stand on top of it, and you cannot move through it, so you have to move around it. We'll make sure that there's going to be ample terrain to move around. We're currently working on base plates with woods on them, so that's not going to be a problem at all. We're going to make sure that everyone will still be able to move their army in a very good way. So what we also did is that we said, okay, we had a few situations where someone had like a good piece of terrain in his deployment zone, which was maybe arcane or it had overgrown or whatever. It had a very good rule, and then next to that, the realm made sure that it was even better. We will go around that, and I talked with Peter about it. We're going around and we're going to say, okay, we're not going to use any of the random uh, uh, terrain terrain rules. We're just going to say, okay, you're playing, for example, in Axi, everything will have volcanic. You're going to play in what's it called in Gur, everything will be overgrown and stuff like that. So that's going to be a big difference than it was before. Okay, so next to that, um, faction terrain rules will be used. All faction terrain needs to be placed according to the rules. If it cannot be placed in the correct manner, the terrain will not be placed. So if you cannot put your terrain, your faction terrain on the table because it's too close or whatever, you simply will not use it. Okay, so that's going to be very easy. Chess clock rules. Yeah, chess clocks will still be allowed, of course. Let me check. And if I'm simply looking at the kind of awards we're gonna give you, it's gonna be first overall, second overall, third overall, best army on show. So not necessarily the best painted army, and the best sportsmanship. We're currently working on more prizes, but we cannot say for sure what's going to be right now. In case of a draw, total victory points will be used, and if those are tied, we're going to look at strength of schedule. Um, okay, so scoring points, you can get a total of 120 points, and the army points, it's going to be 10 points, and it simply has to be on time. It has to be in the correct format, and we'll show you what the correct format is. And if you have any minor errors, it needs to be fixed before the event. Last event, we said, okay, you need to check someone's list. We noticed that a lot of players are like, well, I don't know what Legion of Nagash is playing, or I don't know what INFTP and what the rules are, so it'll probably be good. It looks good, so it is good. Well, we noticed that gave a bad taste for a lot of players. So what we said, we're just gonna put everything online, and you always have those guys who check all the lists. And what we're gonna do is gonna implement a way to comment on the list on PunPun, so that you can just say, okay, uh, let's say that my list is bad, and there's something wrong with my list. You just say, okay, I'm going to use my personal identification number, my PIN number, and say, okay, Martijn, you have a problem because you forgot your artifact, or you forgot your faction terrain, or whatever. Just put it as a comment, and I'll see it when I check my list and see, okay, I don't know, someone checked my list and know something was wrong. I'm gonna need to fix that. So that works very well. Uh, the army list mission is simply say, okay, I'm going to put my army in Washpro Builder. I'm just going to copy paste it. I'm just going to say, okay, I save it as a PDF. I open a PDF. I copy everything. I copy paste it into PunPun. Make sure that my faction terrain is on it, and then it's done. So it's actually very easy. So that it's going to work out perfectly fine. Um, let's see. So no terrain. So my telephone is kind of flipping out, so give me a sec. I'm just gonna put that on mute. Okay, so it's on mute. So the terrain no, sorry, Agnes, your terrain features, like if you take your realm shape engine, of course it will have the rules for the Seraphon. It simply says that the terrain rules, like volcanic, overgrown, arcane, demon, like all that stuff, deadly and stuff. They just go out the window and say, okay, if you play, we're gonna randomly roll realms at the start of every round and say, okay, this time we'll in the realm of life or in the realm of Gur of whatever, and just say, okay, every piece of terrain has that rule, and that's it. The terrain specific rules for your faction terrain still remains in place. So that's not going to be any changes on that, because that would be kind of weird to just take some terrain and say, okay, yeah, yes, indeed. Thank you, Justin. You're perfectly. That's the way I should have said it. There's going to be an example at the end of the rules pack, of course, to show you what is good. The next to that, we'll stay with our painting points, with our painting rubric, and I'm just gonna give it to you real quick because it's gonna be rather easy. Let's see. And I really want to talk with you guys real quick about real simple how you can actually make sure that you get most of the points. So yeah, there you go. And there's a link to uh, our painting rubric. Um, if you want to open it, just make sure that you check it out. There's a few things that I want to talk about because there are it's a painting rubric, so this means that you can get a lot of points on different levels. And as some of you, or if you open it, you can see it. Almost every point is 2 points or one, or there's one that's 4 points. And I'm just gonna make sure that you to help you guys, if you say, okay, I want to make sure that I get my bonus points, you have to get more than 18 points on the rubric. So everything that you get above 18 points is it's void. It doesn't have any influence on your final score because you will get 10 bonus points, like total points for your at the end for your end score if you get above 18 painting points. Um, it looks rather the same for 40k. So people who are playing 40k, just check it out. You'll see that most of it is the same. Um, you can get 6 points for painting, and everything needs to be at the minimum level. Every model that's not a minimum level will be removed and will not be counted for um, like the painting rubric. Um, that will give you 2 points. If you have minimal depth created by a wash or a shade, you get 2 points more. And if you have like a third layer to make sure that they get everything back in color, gives you 2 points more. Detailing, some people have like usually you paint the models like the main body of the model, weapons, backpack, and such. You get 2 points. If you detail everything like eyes, grips on weapons and stuff, you get 2 points more. And if you highlight everything in a highly detailed fashion, so even the eyes are highlighted or everything is highlighted, you'll get 2 points more. And then you can get 2 points for doing that for 3 key models. So you have like usually you have like that character which has like the extra work in it. If it's only one character, you won't get the points. If you have 3 or more, you'll get the points. So to give you an easy way to score that 18 points, make sure that all your models are what you see is what you get. So make sure that everyone holding the weapon is physically holding the weapon modeled. So that's 4 points. Make sure that I can see the difference between units. For example, Wendy was playing Seraphon. She played with a lot of skinks. If there's 2 units of skinks in combat, I as a player, as like her opponent, need to see which model is for which unit. If you have like if you say like, okay, one of the eyes are yellow and the other ones are blue, and I cannot see it from a distance, is not good enough. So if everything has rings on it, that will give you 2 points. If you can mark it with a more easy way, like for the Seraphon, for example, you have like the skin that's on the top of their head. It's going to be all different colors. Then I can easily see it as an opponent which unit is which. Make it easy for your opponent, not for yourself, but for your opponent. So if you do those two, so what you see is what you get. And unit markings in a normal manner, you have 8 points already. Then coherency, meaning if you loan part of your army from another person, well, you'll probably lose on coherency points. It simply says if there's a team in your army and it's seeable in like the models, in the basing, and throughout the whole army as a whole, you get 6 points. So you already have 14 points. 14 points for doing simply just painting your whole army. Then you have the minimum requirements. That gives you another 2 points. 2 points. That's 16. And then minimal basing gives you another 2 points, 18 points. So we had some like people had a bad feeling about this, but simply put, if you paint every model to a normal standard, you base everything to a normal standard, and you make sure that your whole army looks like one whole army, gives you 18 points, 10 points for your painting. That's it. It's nothing more, nothing less. That's it. That's all you need to do for those 10 points. Okay? Okay. So that's painting. That's always somehow that's always a kind of a discussion, but that's no problem. So you get 10 points for your army. 10 points for painting, and then you get the most points, of course, for your command points, which is 0 to 100, because we're going to have a 0 to 20 score for each game. The battle plans are like this. There's going to be 5 games. All battle plans will be known beforehand, and I can even tell you today it's going to be Total Conquest, Total Commitment, Focal Points, Battle for the Pass, Blade's Edge. Those 5 missions will be played during our event. The mission is structured like this. If you have a win, according to the General's Handbook, if you win, you get 16 points. If you lose, you get 0. If you draw, you get 8 points. And then you can get bonus points, the same as last event, with auxiliary objectives. Last event we had 3. You have to pick 3 every time you play the game. You have to pick 3. We lowered it to 2 because it's a little bit easier. For every auxiliary objective that you score, you get 1 point, so you get a maximum of 2 points. And for every auxiliary objective your opponent does not score, you get 1 extra. So you can get 1 if you deny 1 from your opponent, you get 1 extra. If you deny both of them, you get 2 points. So you can get 4 points in total for auxiliary objectives every turn. Each auxiliary objective can only be chosen once during the whole event. There will be 18 auxiliary objectives. At the end of the tournament, you'll have 8 left, so you have chosen 10. We're going to make sure that everything will be that everything you choose will be on a list, and then it's going to be fine, no problem at all. So you have a 20-0 score. You can have like every score that you want, but at the end, if you deny everything and you score everything and you win your game, you have 20-0. Okay. I think that's about it about the auxiliary objectives. I've done the okay. So I think that's about it, guys. I don't know if you have any questions about this event, because I just talked you through the rules pack real quick. There's going to be minor changes here and there, but it's not going to be huge. I already talked with Agnes about it, with Peter, with Fabian about it, and they all said they have a better feeling about this than they had from the last 2D pack. So please, if you have any questions right now, or if you have any comments, or say, okay, I'm missing this, or I want to know something about this, make sure to contact us. You can find us you can send us an email, you can send us a message on Facebook Messenger, on Patreon, whatever. Please make sure that you ask us. Okay, we cannot do anything if people don't ask about anything. So I think for now, this has been a huge improvement. I had a very good feeling about writing this. As you can see, maybe some of you have already opened it. That I kind of gave it a little bit of a flashy look as well, a more Age of Sigmar look, because that was really necessary. It looked kind of boring. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna get some water. I'm gonna do a little commercial, and I'll be back in a second. And I'm back. Okay, so I'm very excited. I don't know why, but I'm going to show you something, a little some. Some of you may have already seen it on our Instagram account, but this is our newest addition to our merchandise, which will be our new dice tray. Some of you may already seen the purple dice tray that everyone got as a goodie from the GT, but right now I'm just going to open this one, and it came in this week. So I'm very excited this is mine actually, or maybe my girlfriend's, because she likes to play a game as well. So I'm just gonna open it. Mm, okay. So as you can see, it's rather large. It's even bigger than my head. It's a rather large dice tray. I'm just gonna pop it up real quick. So let's see. Uh, it's very sturdy. It's made from leather, oh, with cardboard in it, and then with felch on the inside, or filth, or I don't know what it's called in English. I have no idea actually. It's gonna be like velvet or something. So there you go. This is our newest die tray, newest addition to our merchandise. You can see our logo in the middle of it, and I'm very happy to be to say this will be added to the list of merchandising later this week. And I'm gonna see real quick if I can. There's no dice here. How is this happening? I have no dice, which is weird. Okay, so this will be added to the web shop rather quick. We also have our newest water bottles, and some of you may have already seen it, but it's a silicone water bottle which you can push in to make it smaller. It actually holds around even more than a half a liter of water, and I'm using it for my work. So and it works very well. It's silicone, so you can easily clean it. And next week we'll have even more merchandise because we currently have our dice bags coming in and our newest objective markers uh, from for 40K, Warhammer 40K. And I think they're in the port right now, so in Rotterdam Haven. Just gonna make sure that it gets to the Chrome real quick. Uh, and talking about the Crone, about our workshop, we had a really big cleanup today, and we're going to clean up even further this Sunday. Make sure that you check out our Instagram and Facebook because we're going to give away some stuff that we don't need anymore. Maybe some terrain, maybe some models and stuff where we found, maybe some books. I don't know. If there's something you want from our collection that you like, say, okay, if you find this, please make sure that you keep it for me. Maybe I don't know. We have so much stuff that's useless to us, but can be really good for another player, for another people. So if you want to have something that we have, make sure that you check out our Facebook or Instagram, and we're gonna give you a collection of everything that we find that we don't need. So I already gave away a new like a display board today, which we found. It's gonna go to one of the guys from the AOS WhatsApp group. Um, there's gonna be more, definitely. I don't know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a surprise for me as well, but it's gonna be a lot more. Um, Talking about new like stuff that we are working on. We currently are working on new terrain for Age of Sigmar, and it's going to be very easy. It's just going to be a small plate with some templates on it, and you can put anything on it that you want. I'm currently working on putting like aquarium plants on it, and palm trees, and uh, um, other stuff, bamboo and stuff, to make sure that I have different types of terrain for all mats. But if you say, okay, I want something like that as well, because I just want to, it's just very simple. It's just a small board with three 70 millimeters templates on it, and you can stick everything on it that you want. And just the templates are there. It's very, you can take them out the bases, so you can just keep the bases in another box. You can keep the templates in a smaller box because you can just stack them up real big. It's only 3 millimeters MDF, so you can stack them up real big. And this way you can save a lot of space. Um, I don't know if Sunday we're going to be done with all the stuff that we will be working on it as well. So if we already have some designs on it, you'll see pictures of that as well. And next to that, we are working on updating our 40K terrain as well. Um, One of the best selling sets that we have is our Ruin set, and some of you may know them from our commercial. Um, like our Telcel commercial where CJ really makes fun of himself. Uh, that ruin set is gonna have a little update because ninth edition changed the way terrain is played on a lot. And in Bremen, we had some comments saying, okay, you have 4 pieces of terrain where 2 of them are open and they are not do not count as obscuring, meaning that if I stand behind it, I can still shoot you, which is makes the terrain kind of useless. So we're working on making templates on like little billboards that you can put on the side of it to make sure that every part of the terrain is more than 5 inch high, meaning that it will get the obscuring rule. Very easy, very it works very well. And next to that, we are also working on making some layers in the higher ones because the higher ones are like 5 or 6 inch high. What you call levels, meaning if you're on top of it, you cannot, and you're down there, you cannot actually attack the guys that's standing on top. So we're actually working on making those work better. Uh, the ruins will have a ninth edition update, um, and we are also working on new templates for Age of Sigmar with a 3 inch, because in Age of Sigmar you cannot, in the movement phase you cannot move within 3 inches. So what you see is a lot of people making sure they will be they want to be perfectly within 3 inches. So we are working on 3 inch templates. It's going to be 3 inch, 1 inch, 2 inch, and half an inch. So everybody knows them. We just didn't have them yet, and so we are currently working on it. When we produce our next, so we have we are we don't laser cut ourselves. We're gonna do that at another like another company, and we have to do like bulk orders. So we're just waiting. Then we'll have to do another bulk order, and then we'll have those as well. And we'll also have probably some newer templates as well and deployment marks and stuff like that. Also, something we're working on, but that will take quite some while because quite a while because we are really wanting a very good design. We are working on our Age of Sigmar objective markers as well. So 12-inch, like the 6-inch. In Age of Sigmar, you hold an objective when you're within 6, meaning you'll have a 12-inch diameter objective markers. You're gonna need 8, and we are working on those designs. So those will be in before the grand tournament, of course. I just don't know when yet because it can take a while. I think that's about it for our products. Am I? Let's see. Yeah, that's about it. Rather quickly, I guess. I'm very happy with this one. I'm gonna give this one to my girlfriend tomorrow because she's already taking a nap. So I'm just gonna give these to her tomorrow. I think I'm gonna make her very happy. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this awesome dice? It holds about, so just to give you an idea. Where's my phone? I have a Samsung Galaxy S20. Look at, still has a lot of space on it. Danny had one already, and CJ as well. CJ played on it yesterday, and it holds around 40. It easily holds 40 dice, which is actually very a lot. You can roll them; they will not be cocked. The embossing here that you can see, it's like not even a millimeter deep, so the dice won't fall down or whatever. So that's not going to be a problem. And yeah, I think they're awesome. I really love it. I'm gonna use them for my D&D games as well. Okay. Since I was talking about the Telcel commercial for CJ, I'm just gonna show it to you real quick, and I'm just gonna get back to you, and then I'm gonna talk about our surveys. So see you in a bit.
Are you as tired as me of needing this much space to store your wargaming terrain? Well, not anymore. Because We bring you Ruins in the Box. This is a full 40k Warhammer table in a 9x9x9 box. Stores everything everywhere. What's your excuse? Is the stairs your number one enemy at home? Are you sick and tired of not even being able to bring your wargaming terrain to your friend's house? Is your wife about to leave you because you can't fit any more terrain in your house? Are your friends sick and tired of bumping into you everywhere you walk? Have you been struggling with trying to keep your workspace clean? Struggling to keep your gaming terrain in order? Well, this is the solution for you. This is a full 40k table ready for use at any time, and you can hide it anywhere, even from the wife. Your girlfriend will never be angry again when you put your wargaming terrain into the smallest box in the house. You will glide through the hallways. The stairs will be your number one new friend. The one solution to fix all your problems. Alliance Armory, billboards, amazing area terrain. Then of course you get our patent pending, amazing 8-piece, no 4, no 8-piece rune set, ladies and gentlemen. Is it allowed to be this cheap? Oh hell no. Why haven't you bought this yet? It's amazing! Call now to 0900 123 456 78 Why? Because it's fucking 11 on the Richter scale, baby. Get yours now. If you haven't gotten one yet, you can order it now on our website, alliancearmory.net. You can get one for the price of one, two for the price of two. It's amazing!
Oh, I don't know, man. It always makes me laugh. I love it. I keep loving it. Okay. So back to Friendly Fire Friday. So welcome back, you guys. If you have been away for a while and just tuned in right now, it's Friendly Fire Fridays number 13. We talked about the new Age of Sigmar pack. We talked about new products that we have, and now we're going to talk about the implications that COVID-19 had on our events. And we simply wanted to make it like a measurable way to ask you guys, and we've done that by making a survey. So I just opened the survey for the Ninth Age and for Age of Sigmar, and I'm just gonna real quickly gonna see what the comments were. So I already read a lot of them, but just to make sure that I'm just gonna do it again. Okay. Um, So one thing that we noticed is that the first question was, did you feel uncomfortable in regards to COVID-19 during our event? And 27% said yes, and 72% said no. We had a total of 33 responses, so that's not a lot. But the one thing that we do notice is that a lot of people don't like it when other players don't take the COVID-19 regulations into account a lot. So they feel rather uncomfortable when other people don't put in the effort to keep the distance, to make sure that you wash your hands and stuff. So that's something that we really would like that number to go down. So that's I think there's going to be a way to do that. And one of the comments that I already read was that we didn't have enough hand sanitizers. So we already talked with Van der Valken saying they will need more hand sanitizers, and we're already thinking about making sure that everyone gets them. But let's see. I don't know yet how we're going to do that. The face mask. A lot of people said. A lot of people did a question: did our COVID-19 precautions impact the enjoyment of the weekend? 30% said yes, 70% said no, and most comments were about face masks. And we noticed that the face masks were still a little bit of hassle for a lot of people, um, and some people were still complaining about distance. And that's simply something that we noticed during the movement phase, is that a lot of players still walk around and the other players won't give them any space because they want to check if everyone if they didn't move an inch too far and stuff like that. So that's something that should be etiquette, right? That you just don't abuse it, because that's literally abusing the COVID-19 rules if you just take that extra inch and stuff. Um, so a funny thing is there were a lot of people also saying, okay, well, the face masks were annoying as hell, but if I wouldn't wear them, I had no tournament. So um, and now that like face masks are almost mandatory throughout all in all public places, we'll not change it anyway. And I think it was kind of a foresight for us to say, okay, we're gonna make face masks mandatory. Um, I think for the next event, it will be rather smart for players to say, okay, I want to make sure that I have a comfortable mask that I can use. So that's a tip to you guys. Please make sure that you do that. Okay, so um, there was another question. What further precautions could we adopt? Any good tips? There was people saying that we needed a longer break. Um, there was something on communication that for press conferences there was not enough communication according to some players, um, and uh, let's see real quick. I think you did a terrific job. No tips from my end. The only suggestion I have is making people keep track of the auxiliaries online. Yeah, okay. Because the cheats were being left at the tables, touched by others, and when handing them into Martijn, it was a risk for him as well. That's true. So we are kind of working on doing that online. So thank you for the tip. We had a lot of questions or comments about the floor plan, which had like mandatory ways to walk through the room, and that's something that we still that we kind of just I don't know, we kind of forgot it, but it's going to be used in the next event. So we're going to have one entrance, one exit, and we're going to have make sure that there will be one-way traffic all around. There was something about latex gloves, that maybe we can provide latex gloves. That's, in my opinion, that's something that you should do yourself, but it's something we can always talk about. Um, so okay, so this was a comment that I just need to pick out. This was for the ninth age. It said a better way for voting best painted. Let the nominated armies be deployed on tables just as normal. There is enough space between the tables to do this. And when you finish your lunch, you can take a walk and good look at these armies. We are all grown-up adults, so we know to keep our distances. This is the. I really understand the comment, but this is very funny. We are all grown-up adults, so we know to keep our distances. That simply is not true when you are not used to playing with COVID-19 mechanisms. We, you cannot do a um, normal best painted army vote without making it danger for cross contamination. It's simply not possible. Um, the pictures were kind of bad, so that was good. That was a good comment. The pictures were not that good. We're gonna make sure that they will be better next time. Um, and there was a few comments about the best painted army. I think they have a point, but the best painted army or like this was a first tournament, so we know the first COVID-19 tournament. So we just know that we're gonna improve on it next time. Um, so that was it for the ninth age and for Age of Sigmar. And we're gonna see if we can do it. We're gonna go back to the other surveys. Um, I want to do the Hanseatic Alliance Open first, so that people know like they were from Germany, so there was a different vibe. So let's see. I actually did not analyze these yet, so it's going to be for me. It's going to be something as well. They said that only 16% of the players felt uncomfortable for the COVID-19 regulation. So only 16% felt uncomfortable, and the comments that we had over here were the mask was annoying. Okay, okay. Um, They said there was a lot of space. They had like 10 square meters for each table, and they had lines on the floor, which we will use as well. Lines on the whole floor to make sure that everyone knows which was like which part of the table was theirs. Um, a lot of windows were open over there, so that was something that was talked about at the 40K event as well. That they said that like the No Surrender event, they said they needed a little bit more fresh room, so that was fresh air, so that was a good thing. Um, Only 90% said did our COVID-19 precautions impact the enjoyment of your weekend, so that's only 19, which is also rather good. Um, More exhausting. We noticed that from a lot of players. A lot of players were like really tired after game one. Uh, it's not fun to have the face masks, uh, but to have such space and the whole hotel for us nerds was a very pleasing experience. I enjoyed this tournament a lot more than some bigger ones before COVID. So, well, I mean, that's just awesome hearing something like that. Um, uh, it's all about that it's more tiring playing with masks, uh, which is really understandable. Um, so there was the communication before the event could have been better. Um, I I would just like to know how. There was one thing though is that we had to say there was a lot of switching between tickets, which was very annoying for us because we simply didn't know all the communication manners. So that sometimes was not that good. What further precautions could we adopt? Good tips. So if any tips, kill Corona. uh, Something about the toilets not being really COVID proof with the not enough paper towels and stuff. Um, Communication again should be better. Uh, Bigger masks to fit our big heads. Okay, okay. And there was a question about the standardized terrain, and we had 30 answered. Uh, I think there should be more types of different terrains, like more craters, pipes, and forests. All in all, it was very enjoyable to play, even as a close combat army. Some tables had old 8th edition terrain style, which is totally fine as 9th has started. I would like to see more diversity on the tables, for example, woods, craters mixed in the usual industrial structures and ruins. Uh, mm, yeah, so we did standardized terrain for the first 28 tables, and the rest were like not standardized. And there was a comment saying, okay, there should be some standardized terrain on the other side of the in the other room as well, which is a good thing. Let's see. Most are very good. Firstly, I like the quality of terrain. All terrain has a good look and is fun and convenient to play with the terrain sets, but I like the terrain set up on the second room's table quite more. One too many terrain features on the table in room one were just ruins. I think the 9th edition has quite cool rules for barricades, forests, fuel pipes, and other obstacles. I understand that it is important to provide line of sight block, but I would appreciate if some line of sight block would be declared as barricades or pipe. As I would like if maybe in some region of the tables there are ruins, but in other regions there are forests. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so need a little work with regards to the actual placement on the table throughout the event. So we need to check more. Okay, that's a good thing. Uh, so the terrain was okay. The markers for the 44 by 60-inch field are horrible. Please use a better marking next time. Well, please show us how in an economic way, and then sure we'll talk about it. If you think they're horrible, then you should have another way to do it. We're not going to cut any of our terrains. We're not going to paint any of our mats. It's just not going to happen at all. uh, Okay, so that's about it for that one. And I think that's about it for today. Uh, okay, so I've been talking for about an hour, um, and I really had a. I still don't like doing it by myself, so I'm just gonna be honest with that. The setup here in my home is not that good, so it's hard for me to also stream from another place. So if someone would like tune in and stuff, it's a bit harder. And my internet here, there's like some weird EMP stuff going on like all freaking day during in here. So I'm already very happy that I have less than 2% frame drops, which is for me that's actually very good. So I'm very happy the way this time the the stream went. If you have any question regarding one of our events, we are also working on events for 40K, of course, and for other events. So just to make sure that you know that it's not going to be any problems. But if you have any question regarding the AOS Grand Tournament, if you have any other questions, if you want to ask us about organizing your own event, if you want help with that, let us know so we can talk to you so we can make sure that the community will grow. For those of you watching, make sure that you check our Facebook, make sure that you check our Instagram. If you really want to help us out, make sure that you become our Patreon. We're very happy to help as much people as we can. There's a lot of like benefits to being a patron. You can ask Mr. Steele, who's already on the online in the live chat. He's one of our biggest patron. Thank you very much. Of course, I have to say this every week. He's one of our beloved Patreons. He helps us out when he can. Um, uh, it's very awesome. We're also working on our Heroes of the Alliance. Heroes of the Alliance. So when you come to our events, you gain points. We are working on an Excel sheet where you can see how many points you have, and if you have enough points, you get dice from us. If you have even more points, you get a sweater and stuff like that. So that's gonna be something to check out. If you come to a GT, you already get, I guess, 2 points. If you come to, no, you get 1 point. If you come to one of our terrain days, you get points. If you help us out during an event, you get points. If you buy terrain, you get points. Points all over the freaking place. So make sure to check everything out. Go to our Patreon. If you have any other questions, please let us know. I'm gonna say goodnight to you guys. I'm gonna make sure that everything gets set up for the early birds for next week for the grand tournament, and we'll speak to each other next week. Then I won't be alone. I will be back with Stefan, and we're gonna have an interview with, I don't know who, but we're gonna have an interview. Agnes, Katif, have a good night. The rest of you guys also have a very good night, and speak to you soon.